Okay. Man, do you remember old games when they had, like, attention reels? Anyway, I doubt many people are going to come. This isn't an old game. So, let's get started. I did a couple of things off screen to facilitate the stream. The first thing I did was figure out how to skip ahead from like the little cutscenes that we got stuck watching last time. Turns out you can turn around and just go back. So I watched that cutscene a third time and I saved it so you guys didn't have to. I went all the way back to the tree hideout, and bought a bunch of resources. One thing that I got when I went there, I think it's this one, was they had a rapier just sitting there waiting for me to grab. It kind of does that. I think it's a slash and a thrust. Let's give a quick look-see. The standard sword, balanced strength and speed. And it is probably my best weapon, even though I don't really use swords all that much. There is another weapon. Basically, Eternal Ring has its own Moonlight Greatsword, although in Eternal Ring it is called the Eternal Sword. But that's in a hidden dungeon. And we'll probably do that when we get credits, because it requires me to like go all the way back and get a few things in order. There has been a couple of really great comments on the YouTube lately. One acknowledged that I'm pretty much playing on hard mode, which is just fine. Ew, just that much? Glad to see that the controller is still being a jerk. Alright, well that's good enough. Let's save it one more time and head in. Just wanted to hotkey that. And yeah, there's oh yeah, and the other thing I did make was this here ring. It's divine. Someone had a recipe for the sunlight stone, so I made divine. Although I'm not sure if it's really useful for this bit. So I think I'm going to switch that for protect. Or maybe imprisonment. That might be good. Hopefully everyone is pretty good when they are watching this video, or if they have stumbled upon this video. Hope your days are going excellently. No! Oh, come on, Kane. Why? Why? Doop-a-doo. No, please. Alright, okay. Controls. It's the real friends we made along the way, I guess. I am surprised by how... And I shouldn't be surprised. Like, this game being short is pretty much par the course for old FromSoft games. Also, fall damage doesn't exist as much as it probably should. It, like, sounds worse than it actually is. Where is the next door? Do, 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 do. That hurt a lot. Oof. It's very close. That run is, has proven quite annoying. Probably zigged where I should have zagged. Iframes, they still exist. They've always existed. There's really not a whole lot to say about this room. It's full of monsters who are just kind of annoying. Where you pretty much run from point A to point B. Whoa. I think there's 4 different mini runs like this. Oh, what is this RoboCop looking guy? Imagine playing this in like the year 2000 and you're like, WTF? Oh no! It's Lila!
No, not yet. The child, he isn't ready. I still have much to teach him.
And she has a ring of magic on her, and she's dead. So our sister is dead. Ripperoni. We're gonna try imprisonment on our next guy. Whoa! He did a lot of damage. Whew! That was a lot. Imprisonment didn't seem to do a whole lot of anything. Alright. The run shouldn't be that bad. So maybe I'll replace it with protect. And just hit him with a bunch of tornadoes. How's everybody? I see a bunch of people are on and watching. So there's only 2 bosses. He's the second to last one. The last one, the very last one is kind of a victory lap, kind of, sorta. So the last boss is the last time you see the captain of the guard, the research team that was initially supposed to be there. He basically turned on everybody, flipped out, and became partially a crow. Our very first Velka worshipper. So, he basically killed the people that were sent there from your kingdom. And he's been trying to get the, quote, eternal ring ever since. We did beat him once before as a boss, but now he's like the last one. Oh, I thought I was gonna miss. Missed that drop. I'm looking to see, so close to the edge because I'm looking to see if there's another drop I can do. As far as final dungeons go, this is pretty much a grind spot. Oh, my foot's asleep. But really, it's kind of linear. It's just kind of winding. You're just going from point A to point B. Those SFX in the background, those will kill you if you're too slow. That green thing. Just like that. I got hit by it. Pretty sure I missed a drop. Sorry if this is a little boring. It's also funny how there's like no fanfare for the fact that you died. It just fades into the title screen. Let me get to the Eternal Palace and then put on the protection ring. See if that'll help. The run. I don't know if it will. Not sure what the bounds are for the protection ring. It's not bad. Oh, I totally missed it. You just auto die if you're... There's like no weird falling thing. If you just miss the bottom, you're just gonna die. Alright, so the protection ring is worth it. So the second hallway, we can just throw it on. Full damage is meaningless.
No, not yet. The child, he isn't ready. I still have much to teach him.
I don't know why they put a ring of magic there. It's not like you're gonna go back or something. Jeez. Hooray! Heh. Easy peasy. Circle strafing wins all the time. So the one thing I did put in there was the Ring of Sacrifice, just in case.
Hey you! I saw you. What did you do to Lila? She was talking to you. Then she stopped moving. Why?
Some kid from Age Tech's office.
What happened to Lila? Let me out. Ah!
I'm sorry. Tornado, why do you recover so slowly? Soulus, have you, like, given up or something? Oops, I hit myself. Soulus? Are you, like, dead? Alright, well, he's dead now. He, like, gave up. Halfway through that fight, he just kinda gave up.
The god's child stopped moving. The eternal cage will soon fall.
Yeah, I've got stuff to say about that.
Here, you may return to where time exists. Your job here is done.
A child in a saucer, by the way. And he just kind of pieces out. He's like, okay, whatever, I'm out.
Nom, 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 nom. I can't move. This has never happened to me before. Lila? I know I can ask Lila. Lila? Lila? Lila! Lila!
Also, Cain found out that Lila's his sister, and he still just kind of
Lila,
pieces
you're not
out.
moving.
Just leaves her there.
Please wake up now. Hey, Lila. Come on, Lila. How long have you been lying there? I got out all by myself. Will you tell me about the baby birds? Oh, I get it. I'm outside now. Let's go see them together. Are you mad? Are you mad at me? Lila? Come on, Lila. Lila? Hey, Lila, please get up. Lila, please talk to me. Please, Lila. This feeling. Bad. I get it. This
is death.
Such a villainous voice for his grown-up form. Also, who else can say they can grow up by feeling bad, man?
A few days later, Cain Morgan returned to the Hungarian royal palace. King Ian, who had heard rumors of the unusual changes on the island of No Return, asked Cain what he had seen or heard. Cain, unfortunately, could only report that the research team, including its leader Daryl, had been annihilated.
So he basically lies.
The death of Daryl, who was also the leader of the Knights, stirred up controversy throughout the kingdom. It was the opinion of many that the elders should take responsibility for his death. And through this wave of popular sentiment, the people who were loyal to King Ian were able to regain a great measure of strength. Eventually, Hungarian rule was returned to the king. Once things had settled down, Cain Morgan departed for an unknown destination. But a few years later, he returned to Hungaria, accompanied by a man of unknown identity. King Ian welcomed Cain's return, honoring him with a new position as head of his retinue. And as Cain requested, the king treated the man of unknown identity as one of his vassals. Cain and the man remained loyal to King Ian, and the ruler's name is now recorded in history as that of a skillful and compassionate leader. The man who had arrived in Hungaria with Cain left following the death of King Ian, but it is said that time itself, not even the passing of decades, could change his appearance.
So just to quickly explain that ending, because a lot of the backstory is in the manual. King Ian is 18. He's very young. And a bunch of elder courtiers are basically running the show, and they're like running roughshod over it. Daryl is sent by the elders because the elders knew about Soulus and that other place like colliding at this island and like both getting wiped out. But they also heard about the Eternal Ring, so they sent the research team along with Daryl. Daryl's the guy who becomes the big crow guy to go find the Eternal Ring. And because of Daryl's own greed, he becomes the crow guy, kills the research team, and ends up really close to Soulus. There's also a mercenary who survives the initial attack on the research team. And he tries to go after Daryl too. But that he dies. Whatever. So Daryl is a tool of the elders. And Cain kills Daryl, but he basically lies to the whole populace. It's like, oh, he just kind of died. Shrugs. And the fact that Daryl, a well-liked guy, with like because he was the leader of the knights, the populace like threw a fit, and the elders pretty much all lost their ability to like rule over or use the king as a puppet. So the king basically gets his groove back. Cain goes back, finds Soulus. Soulus basically is King Jeremiah, or a proto-King Jeremiah. And if you could see, like, if you really noticed his character design at the end there, he had like a head covering because his weird dragon head was a little disconcerting. Things I don't get, because the last act of this game is a bit rushed, and I can understand why it was rushed, because for the PS2 launch, FromSoft had 3 games released with the PS2. So I can only imagine the time crunch that they were put under to get all 3 of those games ready for the game. The other 2 are Evergrace and Armored Core 3. And on top of all that, Armored Core 3, as well as this game, had producer Nabeshima on board. And I don't remember if Nabeshima is on Evergrace too. Nabeshima was basically second in command to Naotoshi until one Miyazaki showed up, apparently. Yeah, super rushed. Like, they had 3 games released at the same time for the PS2. 3! This isn't like 2004 FromSoft, who just decided to release like 4 games in the same year. But, like, the year 2000, they had like 3 different games that they released. Because I don't understand how Lila, someone who could use magic probably better than Cain, and saves Cain from father dragon, because like their father became a dragon because Soulus did it for the lulz. That's essentially the story there. Soulus is a homunculus that they created on that island, who was almost perfect, but he didn't have like emotions. So basically for the lulz, he turned everybody there into like either monsters or a dragon. Anyway, so their father became a dragon, and she saves Cain from being like insta-killed by Dad Dragon. So I don't understand, A, how she dies, and B, why they didn't show us how she died. It seems a little weird that she's just like, oh, she's dead now. I don't get it. Other than like plot convenience. That all said, I consider this really good proof of concept for what would become Kingsfield 4, which comes out the next year after this comes out. Kingsfield 4, The Ancient City, comes out in 2001. And there's an archived interview on the Age Tech website. Don't even go looking for the Age Tech website. It is dead. You're going to have to way back it. Like, Age Tech ran out of, like, their domain in 2016. So you'll have to, like, way back machine it. But there's a localized interview from the producer of Kingsfield 4, who still works for FromSoft, by the way. He has credits all the way through Bloodborne and DSR. I'll get the last name, but like, he still works for FromSoft, and he was the writer for Kingsfield 2, and he was the producer for Kingsfield 4, and they basically said they wanted to make sure that the PS2 was good enough for a Kingsfield game. So I consider this kind of more of a proof of concept for what will become Kingsfield 4 than like its own game. Yeah, FromSoft has always had a problem with being a little too ambitious for the time scale. Because this comes up in Kingsfield too. Like, the last areas of Kingsfield 4, from what I remember, because I didn't really watch very much of it, because I wanted to be as blind as I could stand being blind. The last like 2 areas, like the last boss is kind of weird, and like you have to door cheese them or something, as I understand it, and like the last like running around area is kind of like Eternal Rings, but worse. I want to say, kind of rushed too. FromSoft has always been a little bit ambitious, but I kind of prefer a developer being ambitious and having to, like, cut a few corners than not really. Look at those crabos. There's big crabs in the secret area. Speaking of the secret area, I should make my way over there if anybody wants to see that. There is a secret dungeon because JRPGs of this nature back at this time had secret dungeons. You had the islands of Hell and Heaven in Final Fantasy VIII and a whole bunch of other things. The Moonlight Greatsword is in this game. It's called the Eternal Sword. It's in the secret dungeon. Like, you have to beat all the bosses to get it. I don't remember where it is, though. Where is it? I think I'll just make my way over to the tree house. But yeah, like, FromSoft has always been a bit ambitious for their own good, which results in sometimes being, like, having cut content and cut corners to make a deadline. Hey, you want to see the dragon? Can't go up there. See, this is where you land after Lila puts you in a jar and throws you down. But, all in all, this is actually really, really cool little look at, like, how FromSoft put together JRPGs at, like, character action JRPGs back in the day. Is it this one? It's probably this one. It doesn't quite follow the Kingsfield, like, setup, and it is kind of faster than Kingsfield, because, like, Kingsfield 4 is much slower than this, and plus, melee is almost not a thing in this game because you don't really use your sword all that much. So your sword doesn't use the power bar. But what does use the power bar is your spells and, like, switching rings and stuff like that. The ring system is actually really cool. It's not this one. Using those and figuring out which ones you want to use is really cool. The lack of maps is something FromSoft has kind of always done. It gets a little... Like, there are maps in Kingsfield 4, but they're not really useful. And it's not that one either. And, like, I would like them to do a first-person kind of thing again, but I'm not sure if that's something they're interested in, because I think Miyazaki prefers third-person, which is probably a holdover from his time at directing Armored Core 4. Answer? Yeah, 4 answer. Because Armored Core is kind of third-person. Oops, I keep hitting the teleporter. It's not this one. But all in all, it's a really short game. It's not gonna eat up like 5 million hours unless you decide to go for all 50 rings. And so I think it's kind of worth playing as a historical artifact of FromSoft's body of work. It's a... Like, if you go into it thinking proof of concept, I can deal with that, it's good times. And, like, the influence this has on Souls, with its, like, rings are powerful and have magic properties, how the power bar is kind of like Souls' stamina bar in this game, although they kind of revert in Kingsfield 4, because Kingsfield has its own, like, straight rules. But they go back to that in Shadow Tower Abyss. Abyss basically is the Souls mechanics. Yeah, it's this way. teleporter is around here somewhere. As far as streaming purposes, I'll be getting back to Kingsfield 4 when I can, I think tomorrow maybe? I think I have a guest for tomorrow, maybe? I have to confirm with them. And so we'll get to see like what things they learned from this game that they put into Kingsfield 4, and especially since Kingsfield 4, like Souls, had a very strict formula for its mechanics and stuff like that. Which, granted, this kind of runs on the Kingsfield system, but especially since its controls are the Kingsfield system. Oh, we'll figure it out, I guess. No, not that one. I want to protect, because apparently you're forced to hang out in the Poison Valley a lot more than you kind of want to. So, for anybody who's still watching this, do you have any questions while I try and find the secret dungeon? Because I don't exactly remember where it is. I just know it exists. Or any observations? There's been some really good observations already on the YouTube channel. No. Miyazaki came to FromSoft maybe a game or so. Basically during Gen 7. So during the PS3 era. The people in charge at the time is Naotoshi Zin, who's the supervisor, and was basically the supervisor of everything at FromSoft. Until Katakawa bought FromSoft. So Katakawa bought FromSoft, and he was basically promoted to the board of directors, which he's still at today, leaving the president's position open. Nabeshima was the Miyazaki at FromSoft. Armored Core was their like baby at the time, and he worked on every Armored Core up until after 4 Answer, I think. And the rumor is once Demon Souls became a thing and Miyazaki became president after that, skipping over Nabeshima, by the way, that Nabeshima took his ball and left FromSoft under bad, not very good terms. Nabeshima is working on Daemon Ex Machina for the Switch these days. So that's where he's at. Of course, it's an Armored Core like, so there you go. That's all hearsay. It's stuff I've read on the internet, so it may or may not be true, but Nabeshima's name is pretty much on all of the old FromSoft games I own. But yeah, Miyazaki came in during Gen 7, which is like the PS3 era. So This is the tree house. And give me just a second to figure something out. Kane is probably gonna walk into a wall because of my controller being overly sensitive. Oh wow, I have to go all the way back there. Jeez. Yeah, my controller has a dead zone, and this game is very sensitive with the 6-axis. Like, this is the only game where that happens in. Alright, so the secret dungeon is all the way back at the beginning of the game. And you have to throw a light or dark spell at the illusory door. Wow, where have I seen that before, Lucille? Is it this way or that way? I think it's this way. Back to the beginning. I do have a light spell. Maybe there's something. I love how this is just like a tree house. And it basically just looks like Firelink Shrine. Okay. Like, the Armored Core bros, they kind of know a bit more about it than I do. Because they follow them a lot more. I think it's this way, is the way all the way back to the beginning. No, I don't want to fight Snake Mans. Must be this way. Not sure how this handles on like a PS2 or an emulator. Like The PS4 version doesn't really change much, except it allows like the sticks to be used, because like FromSoft didn't know how 6-axis sticks worked until 2004, I want to say. Man. So that's how you deal with this area. I haven't really dealt with this area because it's kind of optional, but those are actually tiki torches and you light them up. Remembering your way around here is kind of like the first thing you've got to do. Alright, we've made it. Getting back to the beach should be okay. Hey, grass. Pick that up. Hooray. I'm not sure if I'll show off the whole dungeon. I might tinker with it after a while, but I did want to show off a little bit of it. Basically, it's kind of this game's version of the Chalice dungeons. I think there's like 4 levels, and you go through them, and there are sub-bosses. Beating the sub-bosses gives you good loot, the best loot, such as MP, a slow MP regen, and HP regen rings are there. The MGS of this game is in there. And a couple of unique rings. So there's some good items. We'll see how it is, because I'm like completely underleveled for this dungeon, because I'm like only level 24. And everybody suggests you be like level 35. To do it, but YOLO, I guess. So this is actually not the first game where your character lies to maintain the honor of a knight. Daryl goes nuts trying to make the Eternal Ring his, not knowing that the Eternal Ring is actually just a prison and not an actual ring that you wear. And he becomes a monster that you like defeat like twice. But you don't tell anybody in Hungary that. You're just like, oh, he just died. And then you've got Artorias, who your chosen undead does the same thing. I don't know how long the research team was here, because they had time to build a village of stone and masonry. Mosquitoes are still the worst in a FromSoft game. But I've got Wind Cutter now, so screw you guys. Eat it, Sahegans. Why are flowers always deadly in a FromSoft game? Hey, golden grass. Sweet. So the reason why the Craboids will bum rush you here is because the secret dungeon is here. Go back to DS3, Crabbies. I have quarrels with you. Now, the question is, where is this door? Yeah, the sand texture is just the best. Let me consult with the fack. Turn Kane around so I don't fall into the ocean. Right. So it should be... I'll probably have to reload this so I can grab my MP back, but... see if we'll see it. Okay. I thought that was an invisible wall. So you've got a white side and a dark side. There is light and dark in this game. My divine is a light spell, and it should open the way. Any light spell apparently will do. Divine is the lowest. These textures are something else, though. Kind of reminds me of Is. Whoa, what the hell? She got rats. Yeah, I need to be here when I get some levels, but I just wanted to show this place off because this is the secret dungeon. Hunter, how's it going? Apparently these guys are, like, the worst. Yeah, this is the optional super dungeon. Oh, he's the worst. Okay. I need to get here when I've got, like, 10 levels on me, but I wanted to show it off for the stream. We already beat the game. So... So, we're just dealing with showing off super dungeons. Oh wait, is it this one? Is it this one? Yes, it is this one. Switch my fireball. Come on, controller. Really? Hunter, you know this game, right? I just wanted to know if you had any, like, thoughts as to the abruptness of its third act, and some of the questions that you invariably have to ask, because the ending is kind of abrupt. Let me kill some crabos. So you have to come all the way back to the first screen of the game to get to the optional super dungeon. Have to realize that you can walk around that place, and then have a light or dark spell on you. But the Moonlight Greatsword of this game is in this dungeon at the end of it. But like, pretty much like the Chalice dungeons, you've got different floors, and this kind of looks like Is. Listen to that music though. It is literally the best. They're dropping some dragon rings, which is nice. I mean, dragon gems. There's some good stuff in this dungeon, if you happen to look. I think the MP regen ring that I could have sworn, because it's in like every JRPG, is in this dungeon. Apparently it's not that good either, though. So you weren't missing very much of anything. No, go away. I don't like you. You blow up and stuff. That's a dead end, I guess? Also, the final boss basically gave up during that fight, which is odd. Am I even hitting him? Alright, I'm just gonna keep going. I think I came in from there last time. What are you guys all hanging around here for? Have a tornado. Nope, don't want any part of that. Okay, so this is another dead end. Take that Earth Dragon gem though. Chase him, my little wind cutters. Chase them. This gives me a Shadow Tower Abyss vibe over here. Monster design is really good for this game. Oh. Oh, that guy was the first boss of the game! Well then, I guess I hit the end. Well, I might farm some, like, levels for Kane off screen. And maybe I'll do the dungeons later as sort of additional episodes. But that's Eternal Ring. Great proof of concept. Kingsfield 4 came out in 2001. This came out in 2000. Evergrace came out in 2000 with this game. Shadow Tower Abyss came out in 2004. 2004, where they released like 4 different games in the same year, along with Kuon, Shadow Tower Abyss. Metal Wolf Chaos came out the same year. Probably another Armored Core game. That's all, like, from 2004 was like a huge year for FromSoft, I guess. It's hard to say. Like, this game was more Nabashima, and then like proof of concept Kingsfield before they like buckled down and do Kingsfield. And then, like, you know, you do an Armored Core every year because that's what you used to do at early 2000s FromSoft. So it's hard to say. Like, the timeline is pretty crazy in like up to like 2006, 2007. Like, they were pumping out like 2, 3, 4 games in a year sometimes. So yeah, I mean, it's not a long game. It's surprisingly really short. The dungeons aren't, like, the level design is good. It's not the best because there's, you know, they probably rushed a lot of things to make the PS2 launch deadline, but the dungeons themselves aren't that big. And those are, like, those armored things, those make a reappearance in Dark Souls 2. There's the snake guys, and they're in every game. I basically ran by the DS2 enemies. Yeah, like up to the water temple, it was probably under a normal thing. And then Nabeshima was also working on Armored Core 3, which came at the same time. So I can only imagine, like, the FromSoft offices in, like, 2000 when they were trying to get, like, the PS2 games out the door in, what, October of 2000? Jeez. Like, the last act, Hunter, is abrupt. It's very abrupt. It's like, hey, yeah, you could feel that they had not a whole lot of time because of time crunch. But I think that wasn't the point for Eternal Ring. I think Eternal Ring was a proof of concept so that they could feel confident enough with the PS2 and then, like, to realize that the PS2 had enough power or firepower to make another Kingsfield game. Partially because of what the producer of Kingsfield 4 says on the archived version of the Age Tech website. Yeah, so it's a worthy experiment. It's $14.99 on PlayStation United States. You can buy it right now and play it on your PS4 and have yet another FromSoft experience on your PS4. Yeah, so worthy experiment. You could definitely see some ideas that they took for Souls later on. Things like the ring system, or just rings in general being magically powerful is probably an echo of this game. The Rare Ring of Sacrifice has its origin in this game, I guess. I'd have to check the Kingsfield stuff to see if the Rare Ring of Sacrifice is in that too. There's the Witta again. They're in Kingsfield 4, I think in Kingsfield in general. I'm glad everybody was here. If you want to see the finale, it's in the first hour, maybe first 45 minutes of this VOD. And then it's just kind of me going all the way back to the beginning of the game to open up the secret dungeon. So, thank you guys very much for joining me, and I will see you guys for probably the next episode of Kingsfield 4. So, I'll see you guys then. Bye!